Hello everybody, Shift Your Mindset here. Today's episode we're gonna talk about how to leave a cult in a few steps. This video is for everybody who's growing up at this moment in a toxic environment. In a cult, maybe a toxic relationship, and we all wanna get out. What is toxic for you? What is toxic for me? Signs of toxic in a cult are for me that the leaders abuse their positions of authority. What I mean with that is they act like God instead. I was growing up as a JW. My leaders, there are I believe 9 now, are the spokesperson of God on earth. And they abuse that authority they gave themselves to rule over all the Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world. And why do I say it's an abuse of authority? Because they say Jehovah selected them, only in the United States, to be his spokesperson on earth. When you are JW and you're watching this video, thank you first for that, because it says that you're open-minded and that you're thinking outside of the organization, and that's good, because then you can make a good, valid decision for yourself whether you want to leave or not. But the abuse of authority, they are the only spokesperson on earth. If you are JW, watch the 2015, I believe, Royal Commission in Australia. One of the leaders was sitting there, and they asked them if they were the only spokesperson of God on earth. And he said literally, that would be presumptuous to say. So he left it open that there are more people on earth who have the blessing of God. But inside the organization, or the cult, as you want to name it, they only say that other thing, that they are the only ones and they know what's best for you, blah, 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 blah. Second thing of a toxic thing is the private life doesn't match their public life. The private life doesn't reflect what they teach in public. In public, it's money is the evil of everything, money is bad, you don't have to have education, you don't have to have anything, just the love of God. But who's paying the bills when you have no education? They're asking for people, for Bethel, to be a lawyer. Are those people just people without education? No, they have a lawyer's degree. They have to study a lot of years for that. So, why are they wearing fancy watches, big rings, fancy suits, flying business class all over the world to attend a congregation or a convention? Why does Stephen Lett has more than 250,000 invested in real estate with his brother? If you sign a petition of the vow of poverty, it is, I believe, to end the battle, you have to make a vow of poverty. Why are in the headquarters such things as a sauna or whatever? They're living a lavish lifestyle. They even bought Tony Morris an expensive mansion of 250,000, paid by the Watchtower, paid from your money if you're still inside that organization. So what they say and what they do doesn't match. That's also one sign of toxic. But for me, the thing is, most toxic thing is, it's all about the money nowadays. Back in the day, they were printing literature and magazines and stuff like that, and you can give a donation and stuff. Now in every broadcast, everywhere you see the word donation, 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 donation. They need money. And they are changed from printing stuff to real estate stuff. If you see what they have on real estate, it's mind-boggling. So they buy a building, free labor they put in it, brothers and sisters who flew there, who spend their times fixing it, and then a year later they sell it with a big profit. Never used, didn't use it, well, some excuses and then whatever. Kingdom Hall sold. It's all about the money. If you look on the JW website, you can give them money, you can give donation by credit card, by jewelry, by real estate, or your will. You can leave the money after you die. Why don't you give your money to another good organization who actually helps people outside the organization? Not only your fellow members of the JW, but also doing some good in the world. Because nevertheless, you say you are a non-profit organization, but the only profit you make is money. So if you are JW, thanks for watching. Stay with us, stay with me the next couple of minutes, because here are 7 steps how you can get out of the cult. 1, and that's an important one, give yourself a window of time towards your exit. You can do it quickly, you can do it like me, but if I have to do it again, you will see that a window of time is a good thing, because you can do little things within that window of time and it doesn't look noticeable to other members in the community, and so you can prepare yourself for leaving. It's also important for your mind that you slowly get a little bit further away every step from the organization. Second one is, yes, it's an important one, guys. Don't tell anyone in your community what you think of or what you feel. Do not say anything about how you're feeling. Do you have doubts about the governing body? Don't say it. Do you have doubts about something you read? Don't say it. Because when you say things to fellow members of the organization, to other Jehovah's Witnesses, they are getting afraid, they are getting scared, and your bad association, and they're gonna rat you out to an elder, or say, oh, you can say that, and they're gonna talk about it with other people, because we know gossiping is number 1 in the organization. So don't tell anybody. Don't fall in that trap. Because before you know, you're in the back room and people are gonna watch you even more closely. Number 3, go to a counselor, a coach, or someone with wisdom outside of the community. That's also a very important one, because there you can let all your doubts out. Talk to someone who just listens to you without judging you. But maybe give you some practical steps for you to disassociate a little bit in your head from the organization, to put it into perspective, to make you relax a little bit and stress out, not to stress out, but it's nice when someone is genuinely listening to you. So don't be afraid to take someone into, how do you say it? Someone who you can trust outside of the community. Number 4, detach your heart from the organization. You can still believe in certain things, you can still believe in God, you can still believe in Jesus Christ. Maybe you start believing more in Jesus Christ, but you have to detach your heart from the organization, because the problem is the organization or the cult where you're in. But if you do that, carry on with life as usual. You don't want to raise a suspicion, but you want to strategically do your departure. You want to strategically plan your departure, I want to say. You have to do it in silence and you have to be strategic with it. So detach your heart little by little from the organization, from everything what went wrong for you, and don't get attached to that organization anymore, because they let you down. And if you detach from it, it will make your life easier to cope with when you have left the organization. And this is a very, very, very important one, number 5. While you're still in the process of withdrawing from the organization, start already with meeting people. Start meeting people while you still haven't left the organization. Because when you leave the organization, it will be a difficult time for you. I will be honest with you. It will be difficult. My family didn't speak to me ever again. My nephews, I couldn't see them anymore. Your whole social structure, your brothers and sisters around you, the people you meet in the weekends where you go into ministry, to the congregation with, whatever, they are gone. Suddenly, they are gone. And if you didn't meet any people before you left, you're all alone. In my case, because my family was Jehovah's Witnesses, so I lost my whole family at once. And that's not a joke, because it's a difficult, hard time to cope with. But if you have supportive people, you have a little network around you before you left, that people with unconditional love, who love you for who you are, who just love you for being you, that you exist, they can be your supportive group whenever you face these difficult times. So, start meet new people. Number 6, make sure the community you leave has no leverage over you. So if someone owes you money, get that money back before you leave. If you have documents who are important for you, get them before you leave. If you need other arrangements to be completed, arrange everything before you leave, because people want to stay in contact with you. People want to will draw you back into the cult. Yeah, that you make a mistake, or if you need certain people when you leave and you still need people, they want to draw you back in. So it's best for you that you have everything up to date all your administration, that you don't owe money to someone, that you are self-sufficient and reliant, that you can do whatever you want, because if someone has leverage over you, you're doomed. Last but not least, leave without feelings of revenge. When we leave, and when I left, it was a roller coaster of emotion. I was angry, I was sad, I was all the emotions at once. I wanted to take a revenge because my parents left me for dead. I was angry at them, and I don't know, so much mixed feelings. But if you just leave without seeking justice, you make your life so much comfortable. You can rebuild your life in peace and more easily. Because if you don't seek revenge for what they did to you, life has become much more joyful for you. Because you didn't fail yourself by leaving. The community or the cult has failed you. And they don't see it. They don't want to see it because they're following leaders who are out of their minds. And I have 2 donkeys outside, and I honestly tell you, you can have a better conversation with those 2 adorable donkeys outside than having a conversation with someone who is still in the Jehovah's Witnesses and defends their faith with all they got. It's like talking to a brick wall, because they don't want to see and they don't want to hear the arguments you have for leaving. Valid arguments. You did your research. You saw that things are different from what they were said and what they do. You see the difference between how they talk about child sexual abuse inside the congregation and how the facts are inside the real world, where they get fined for lying in court. They get fined for not providing enough evidence to back up a case. You see news things on the JW website about how the government is obstructing Jehovah's Witnesses. No, the government in Norway, for example, shows us how bad it is to shun people. You have a lawyer from the Jehovah's Witnesses who says in a video on YouTube, you can search it. He said shunning is not that we don't talk to people anymore. You can still talk to people, he said. But in reality, when you get disfellowshipped, nobody talks to you anymore. So what they say in the outside world and what they do inside their community or inside their cult is strictly the opposite. And don't get fooled by that. But also don't hate them for that. Just leave them be. I also leave my father alone. If he wants no contact, fine, no contact. I'm not mad at him anymore. Just in the beginning, I was extremely mad with him for ignoring me, ignoring his own son. And I was angry and I was frustrated. But then I thought, what's the advantage for me? Nothing. So I changed my mindset. I shifted it, and it's now purely love. If I think of my father, and sometimes I do, I just send him love. Because he also does what he thinks is good for him, and I don't blame him. But you have to focus on yourself. So if you're JW and you want out, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, more videos are to come. If somebody has an idea for a video, just let me know. I will take it into consideration and maybe I can make a video of it. Hit the like button, guys, subscribe to my channel, and JWs, if you want out, I wish you the best of luck. Do your research and everything will be folded out for you. Focus on yourself and on your best life ever.